Okay, my name is Chris Velasquez. I'm the police chief for the city of Lake Wales. Spelling is C-H-R-I-S. Last name V as in Victor, E-L-A-S-Q-U-E-Z. We're going to talk about an incident that occurred on January 21st, 2018 at approximately 5:22 p.m. on Sunday at the Eagle Ridge Mall. The address of the incident was 451 Eagle Ridge Drive, Lake Wales, Florida. The original call came in as a fire alarm. The law enforcement and fire personnel responded, and fire personnel originally located smoke, damage to the ceiling tiles and to the north access area of the corridor leading into the mall. The initial report was that objects resembling pipe bombs had been located within the mall corridor. The mall was searched. No devices were located other than the ones that we originally found in the corridor. We later learned the devices were actually marine flares. They had been disguised with black electrical tape. We also learned that the suspect had attempted to throw the flares up into the drop ceiling of the corridor. Not only that, but also into the drop ceiling of the K Jeweler store located in the mall. The initial reports were that there was possibly more than one suspect. As the investigation continued, law enforcement collected hours of video. We followed up on leads, and we basically processed evidence collected throughout that entire scene. The Lake Wales Police Department was the lead agency in the investigation. We were assisted throughout the entire investigation by the Polk County Sheriff's Office, the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force, and Safe Streets Task Force, the State Bureau of Fire and Arson Investigation Bomb Squad, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and our local fire department. On January 23rd, we released a computer-generated composite of an individual that was a person of interest. Throughout the week, we followed up on tips from the community and other leads as they came in. On Friday, January 26th, yesterday, the FDLE Crime Lab notified us that they had received a DNA hit on a 32-year-old Patrick Joseph Collins of Auburndale, Florida. We tracked Collins to an address in Auburndale. It was 315 Leda Street in Auburndale, Florida. We conducted surveillance, and Collins exited the residence. As we attempted to approach him, he got onto a motorcycle. He attempted to flee and ultimately struck a sheriff's deputy's vehicle. He then ran on foot and was shortly apprehended. There was a short struggle and he was taken into custody. He was transported to an area hospital. He was treated and cleared medically, and then we talked to him. Collins admitted to lighting the flares. He said that he lit the flares inside the mall. He was there. He had no explanation as to why they were disguised with electrical tape. He said he was trying to actually sleep in the corridor of the mall. He said he was trying to sleep and that people were bothering him and chasing him, and he lit the flares to make them stop and to keep them from getting him. Made absolutely no sense what he said. The evidence, the video, the statements, nothing can support what he said. He didn't think that through very well as far as the story. He stated that he acted alone. At this time, we don't know if he acted with anybody else or not. We have more investigation to do, and this is going to continue. Within the last 2 weeks, he was terminated from his job. We do know that. He worked as a technician and climbed on cell towers. This is an interesting part here. We executed a search warrant at the house in Auburndale, detectives and bomb squad members, and when we did, we located a couple of things that were very interesting. On the motorcycle that he had fled on, there was saddlebags. Inside the saddlebags were flares very similar to what was found at the mall. They were not wrapped in duct tape, but the outer coverings had been removed. Inside the residence, we located black electrical tape, black rubber gloves that were very similar to what was recovered at the mall, at the scene. Also located were multiple fall protection devices, harnesses. And again, he worked as a technician that climbed on towers. Investigators have recovered a black bag from the mall corridor Sunday evening, and it had the words Guardian Fall Protection on it. Guardian's a manufacturer of fall protection equipment for people that climb on ladders, scaffolding, towers, whatever it may be. So very interesting development there. His criminal history consists of carrying a concealed firearm, possession of marijuana, driving on a suspended license, failure to appear, and violation of probation. We charged him so far with attempted arson and manufacturing, possessing a hoax bomb. Those are the charges that we filed late last night, early this morning, as a result of his arrest. Polk County Sheriff's Office also charged Collins with resisting an officer without violence. His first appearance will be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., and we fully intend to be there to do everything we can to make sure that he doesn't get out of jail. We'd like to thank the public for their support, for their assistance, for their tips, all of the information and help they've given us. Also like to thank all of the law enforcement from local, state, federal law enforcement agencies. They've been terrific. This is a perfect example of everyone working together, and it's what we do every day to help keep this community and our state and nation safe. Furthermore, I'd like to thank Governor Rick Scott for his support and assistance throughout this event. He's been instrumental in making sure that everything went smoothly. Again, I'll summarize this with great teamwork. The investigation's not over. We have more to do, but we're at a point now where we feel much better, and we're very pleased with the outcome thus far. And again, we'll summarize it with if you, as a member of the community, of the public, if you see something, say something to us, let us know so we can help protect you and keep you safe.
Will you guys continue investigating? You said that you think he might have acted with others. He said he acted alone. Do you guys believe that there was others involved?
He said that he acted alone. We don't know that yet. We're at a point in this investigation where we're able to provide what we can. We know that we have somebody who is directly involved with this scenario at the mall. If he did not act alone, we're going to find out. We will know, and we'll be able to prove that he acted with somebody else. At this time, we just don't know, but we have a lot of other evidence and a lot of other information that we've got to go through. We've got to look at resources and see what or who he might have been communicating with or working with.
How far is his residence from the mall?
Armandale's probably, depending on which way you travel, 15, I'd say probably between 15 to 30 minutes. Just depends on the traffic and the direction that he goes.
Just to confirm, he said that he was trying to sleep in the corridor of the mall?
That's not what he was doing, but that's what he said he was doing. He said he was in the mall in the corridor and he was trying to sleep, and people were bothering him and chasing him, and he lit the flares to make people stop.
Was there anything stolen from the mall that has been reported, or was this just an act of just terror or trying to scare people? Or
We see no relation or ties to any kind of terror in this case. We don't know if anything has been taken from the mall. We have no reports. There's no evidence right now that anything was taken. And again, we really don't know what his motive was when he went into the mall. But his story just makes absolutely no sense to be in Lake Wales trying to sleep in the mall corridor.
Is there anything else for that?
Nothing else to add. Thank you very much.